Hey everybody, welcome back to What's for Dinner. I hope you're doing awesome. Hope you guys had a fantastic Thanksgiving yesterday and you're recovering well from that.
Yep.
So speaking of that, well, let me start off by just saying I'm Mark. If you guys don't know us and you're new, welcome here. Welcome to the channel or the Facebook page.
Yep.
I'm Mark. I'm a certified health coach, and this is Teresa. She's a board certified family nurse practitioner, and we like to talk about hormones and metabolic health and just about everything in between, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. We are going to talk tonight. So, talking about Thanksgiving, we're going to talk tonight. The theme is going to be getting back on track with your eating goals.
Yes.
Getting back on track with your eating goals. Because I'm sure there's a couple of you out there who may have fallen off the wagon a little bit yesterday. So, we're going to talk a little bit about that.
Yep.
But first, we'll show you what we're having for dinner. So, Teresa made scrambled eggs with cheese. And then she made her pepperoni cheese chips. And how do you make those? You want to talk about these, hon?
Well, typically I don't burn them, but I take ultra slim cheddar cheese squares and I cut them into quarters and then put a pepperoni on top and then everything bagel seasoning.
Yep. That's really good. And the everything bagel seasoning that we use is the Rosettes from rosettesmix.com.
Yep.
So, and then we're doing our burger night tonight because yesterday was a big feast for Thanksgiving. And so we're just going to go with one of our easy favorites. So these are 70-30. So 70% protein, 30% fat. And then the American cheese is what Teresa likes on hers, and the baby Swiss are on mine. And you can see some of our little seasonings and salts we use. I like the Jane's Crazy Mixed Up seasoning, and then we've got real salt over there, and then there's a little jar of Rosette's mix, everything bagel mix. So, all right, well, let's get down to business. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so again, the theme today is going to be getting back on track with your eating goals.
Yep.
So what do we want to talk about?
Well, if you guys got off track on Thanksgiving, my number one a couple things I would say is get right back on track. So today, even though there's leftovers or get the leftovers out of the house, I would start back clean eating the very next day. Don't let it go into leftover day and then leftover day, and then just the whole month is going to be off.
Yeah.
So I would do that. And then Mark likes to fast. If we indulge, he'll fast the next day until dinner again.
Sometimes I'll do a full 24-hour fast.
Yeah. So you could fast. You could do intermittent fasting for the next couple of days, where you just eat one meal a day or 2 meals a day. But you could do that fasting. It could just help get things reset.
Yeah. And if you're going to, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Yeah. And if you're going to fast, just make sure, okay, so first of all, we're not giving you medical advice. Okay. We're not telling you should fast. We're just telling you like what we like to do. So this is just for informational and educational purposes only. Blah, blah, blah. All right. So getting past that, no, for fasting though, make sure you're careful with your electrolytes. So make sure magnesium, sodium, and potassium, those are big. You can get a little electrolyte complex that you can take, or you could just drink pickle juice. Or like some people, even I did this for a little while, is in the morning times, like afterwards when I'm fasting, I'll still drink coffee. And so when I drink coffee, I'll actually put salt in my coffee. And it took me a little bit of getting used to, but afterwards, I eventually learned to like it.
You can also put MCT oil in.
Yeah, for some energy.
Some quick ketones and brain energy. And a little bit of fat that might help give you through the fasting.
Yep. And if you're going to fast too, tea is fine. You can do bone broth. So beef bone broth or chicken bone broth, things like that. And then what else can we do? You can do obviously water. And then I just mentioned coffee. So just make sure you're getting plenty of electrolytes. Again, potassium, magnesium, sodium for when you're fasting.
Yep. And then another thing you can do is just give yourself grace and be patient with yourself, because it depends on how far in the journey you are. But these things can happen. Sometimes you just choose, like, I'm going to have a indulgence day and I'm going to eat whatever I want. So then give yourself grace. Don't tell yourself you're dumb, you're stupid, you're not disciplined, all that other stuff. Just be patient, give yourself grace, and get back on track.
Yeah. Yeah. How about finding like somebody, like a person or a group of people, that you can
for sure
kind of hold each other accountable with. And
for sure. So that's what's easy about us living in the same house, because we help each other stay on track if we do decide to indulge. But if you don't have someone in your house that can, I would even find one of your girlfriends or your bros that you guys can just call whenever you're feeling weak. Like, oh my gosh, I want to eat this, fill in the blank. And they're going to say you can't, or whatever. You could also try keeping a food diary, a food journal. Some people that really helps with, because if you have to write it down, you might not eat it.
Yeah.
You might be more inclined to say, okay, I don't want to put that in my journal, so I'm not going to eat it.
Yeah. And we've mentioned it before too, but if you need a serious tool for accountability, the next best thing, I guess, besides having an individual holding you accountable that can hold your hand would be Dr. Tro has that Toward Health app.
Yeah.
So TOWARD. and it's Dr. Tro. Anyway, there's a massive group in there, but anyway, they've got, they've got coaching stuff that goes on weekly in there. They've got like 10,000 people who are in there on the blog. Yeah, so people can just chime in and talk, back and forth with each other. There's actually an emergency number in there you can call. So if you like are literally like ready to fall off the wagon and you need emergency help, like there's people on the other end ready to help you. And it's okay. There's a subscription involved with that level of information and those kind of services, but it's not expensive. It's like $30 a month or something like that.
It's 50.
50. Okay. So I was a little bit off.
Worth it if you can have access to people that can help you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And what about other online, kind of?
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say the other thing I would think about is go back and start rereading favorite books like Dr. Fung's Fasting Method or The Obesity Code or Diabetes Code. But you could also go on YouTube and just start listening to your favorite people, your podcast, all of those things just to get you kind of motivated again. Like, oh yeah, that's why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I hear this now. And
yeah, Dr. Robert Seifus, Dr. Tro, Food Lies. He's got some good podcasts out there. Brian Sanders. Yeah. That's a podcast. And then of course there's also a good motivational reading that we'll be talking about at some point in the future is The Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. If you want to learn a little bit more about sleep, that's going to go way beyond what we're talking about today, but it's a great motivating book to motivate you to get good sleep. Yeah. So
those are kind of the top things that I can think of right off the top of my head.
Yeah. But we wanted to just be here for you guys to kind of get you back on track. So all the stuff we just talked about as well, a lot of that stuff is going to be in the description on YouTube and also in the comments on Facebook after we're done with the video. So you can follow those links and it'll get you kind of started and whatnot. And then otherwise, if you guys haven't already done so, please consider liking us on Facebook or subscribing to us on YouTube. And also, if you would just leave stars or comments or anything helpful for us like that, any feedback you have, all of it helps our little algorithms and whatnot. So, yep. Anything else, hon?
Nope, I think that's it.
All right.
We love you guys, like Mark always says, but we really are rooting for you. We are your biggest fans.
Absolutely. And don't forget, food matters. It's a big deal.
Yes.
So, and I'm going to say it too. I love you guys. God bless you all. And we'll see you next time.
Okay,
bye.